So I want to do a video, show what we're dealing with right now. This is our indoor pig pen that we've always used. Raised pigs in here, farrowed, you name it. We got a whole line of pens here we can use. Ventilators, a whole bit, all set up for them. But these pigs came out of Ohio, and they're CAFO pigs. And as that one's doing right there, pissing in here. And they've flooded it. To the point, I had to cut the sill out to let the water out. There's no water in here. These waters are shut off. And these guys and girls, for some reason, haven't figured out that if they would stop pissing in here, they wouldn't flood it. But they had 6 inches of urine built up in here. So I had to move them outside. I've got these, this is our temporary water system right here. I got 5/16 sap line. We used some maple syrup. It's an extra piece that we ran out here and ended up using it to water them on a trickle. Of course, they've moved their water bowl now. But I've got them going in and out of the trailer. And my plan is that once I get them accustomed to the trailer, we'll close the door and we're going to move them over to the heavy use area, which is over here. Unfortunately, I spent just about all fall building this heavy use area, and now I have things like that hasn't been winterized and put away properly yet, which is really annoying, but it's the way it is. We did get our chicken coop moved that used to be here. It's now over here around the side. You'll see it here in a second. Got those piles, that pile of bales, that's dry hay. That's my windbreak for the cattle. So when they're in the heavy use area, they have a windbreak. And I just got home from the fire department and they're gonna be looking to me for a bale. This is muddy. It's better, at least it has a bottom, but it's still, I've got to get some wood chips. I think I've got sawdust there, but I'm not real impressed with it. So I'm scabbing together out of leftovers and scrap and whatever I have left. I am building a temporary shelter. And the pigs are going to come out here. And I have over there, the other side of the bowl, is the water. And underneath this pad, 6 feet down, water line comes over and goes into that riser right there. And we're going to tap off from that. And I've got a conduit run over to there's a faucet there that we can use if we need to. But I'm going to go underground with 5/16 sap line and go up into the chicken coop like we always have. And let it trickle non-stop into a tank. And it circulates. I'm walking across this ice. This is another downfall of this. This is a mess in here. We just moved this thing and everything is a mess, but I'll show you what I mean. So this is the heart of the operation. We have a circulator that runs non-stop and draws water out of the tank, pumps it into the chicken coops, and then comes around through that pipe into the other chicken coop, which has water nipples. Come on, chickens. Look out, chickens. To the water nipples there. And that pipe comes back up around. Bear with me. Comes back up around and pours back into the top of the tank. And then I have a heater underneath. Right now the water is 42 degrees. The air temperature is 42.4. And I have another water heater in that tank as well. So if we keep the water obviously above freezing and keep it moving with that little Taco circulator, we don't have issues with freezing. Now any extra water comes out the top right here, comes down this pipe, dumps out the side of the building, and just runs off. So we do have a trickle coming out of here when they aren't drinking much water at night. But I'd rather waste a little water than have it freeze. And as long as it's moving and heated, it won't freeze. So as part of this, we're going to tap off from this. I wanted to have the overflow for this be my water for the pigs like we've done with the cattle before. Usually the chicken coop was over there where those bales are, and the overflow from this ran into a tank outside that was heated, and the cattle drank it. But it just didn't work out this year. I didn't have time to get this all straightened out. So I've got to run a second 5/16 line from there across to a small water system for the pigs. It's either that or I'm going to put a small water tank over there and keep it filled with a nipple on it and put a heater in it or something. Haven't really worked that out yet. But either way, that's the pigs' new home. And because of the way we laid this out, all the water from the entire area here drains out this entryway and flows underneath this. This is only here temporarily for the winter, probably at this point. I planned on moving it again, but haven't been able to. And it comes down through here, and this is the drainage swale to the level lip spreader down there that gets rid of the water. So anything we waste just runs off. Not ideal, but we have a good well and we don't waste much. So by the time I get this done, we will have an area under there that's roughly 9 feet wide, 16 feet wide. Yeah, 16 feet long. I worked last night, I'm half asleep. And that will give us a place for the pigs. I'll probably close in 2/3 of it, 3/4. So they'll have a nice little place enclosed in there. We'll give them a bunch of hay. I can take the waste hay from the feeders over there with the excavator, flip it over the wall into here, and they will have all kinds of hay and bedding, and they'll be in here for now. And then as we get things buttoned up in here a little better, like right there, I will look at the option of bringing the pigs in with the cattle so they can tear through the compost pile over there. Haven't made up my mind yet on that. I've had the pigs in with the cattle before, didn't have any issues. I just don't know if I want to try that this time until we have a chance to straighten some of this out. But for now, they'll at least be out here and they can piss all they want. And it's going to run down here, down this slope, and be gone and not have to deal with a flooded barn. And next time, I'll buy pigs locally, or piglets, and not mess with the Midwest pigs, because obviously the genetics are such that it's been bred right out of them to have any common sense at all, which is pretty frustrating, but that's the way things are, I guess. I'd rather have more of a pasture-raised pig, and eventually, when we get this straightened out, where that chicken coop is just beyond, we're going to build, I have a Quonset hut waiting to go up, and I think we're going to tie it right onto that drainage slab, slope it so it runs to it, and put the Quonset hut up and have chickens on one side and pigs on the other, and we'll be able to go right in. We can use these blocks, or I'll do a concrete block wall and do a heated room and feed it underground with water from the riser over there, go right up underneath, right into a heated room or a small room. Do the same system we have now for the chickens and for the pigs. We could put the nipples for the pigs out one side and then the little nipples for the chickens on the other side, and they'll have plenty of water. It'll be easy to heat, easy to maintain. Any excess water, I can build a drainage system that'll run out there, and we can get in there with a skid steer and clean it, because that is our biggest hassle right now. That office trailer that we're using with 200 or 300 chickens in there at times, trying to keep that from going to hell, so to speak, is difficult at best. It's a lot of work to shovel it, and it's just not worth the time or effort to keep doing that. So we've still got to move that green bin there. It doesn't belong there, but that's where it's been. We're going to leave it there for the winter, and I'll deal with it in the spring. I can't get all this stuff done at once. It's been too much to get everything done that needs to be done around here. But I'll go in here and show you the cattle. Yeah, a great white. He was chasing one of them the other day. He and Oh, now what's his name? I'm too tired to think of it right now. We just picked him up this fall. He's chasing her. She was in heat the other day. She's probably still in heat by the looks of things. Doesn't look like he's leaving her. I thought Babe right here was gonna calve by her looks and the way she was acting, but I don't really see that she's extremely close. I can't tell if she's just fat or if she's gonna calve. And she's getting up there in age, so I think we're approaching the point where she's not going to calve anymore. She didn't calve last year, and I hate to ship her, but we may have to at some point. She's the leader of the herd, but that's the way it is. Right, Agnes? There's Agnes. She's one of our good ones. She throws some good calves, especially a cross with him or him. Makes for a nice cross. Hey, little one. So I thought about trying to bring the pigs over here and do something on this side so we could tap off from this water system right here, even come out through this with a nipple on the backside, and I haven't got a good way to do that. So I think we're going to stick with my plan for now over there, and they'll be right over there where we can deal with it. All the manure can be pushed right in, added to the compost pile. That's there's a lot of sawdust and hay in that, but you know, here we are mid-December and we're that far into it, but it'll break down quite a bit by the time I start turning. I've got to move things around. I'm probably going to move that pile into the center and do a berm right down the center so I can turn it again, move it to the outside, and keep rotating it so we can compost it as fast as possible as it heats up and get it broken down for compost in the spring. And the more we compost it now, the more space we have in here and the less issues we have. So, but it's been a wet, muddy, nasty, damp fall. No sun, no drying, and one rainstorm and scud of a snowstorm after another. Just crappy weather. And if this is as bad as it gets, I guess I can live with it. But I think the weather is as bad as it gets. So as far as precipitation, we went 5 months without any damn precipitation, and then come late October we got nailed with storm after storm after storm. I could have used some of this back in July and August when we were watching the grass wilt and dry from months of no rain. But anyway, that's the news from here, and thanks for watching.